not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on Tuesday, June 9th, 2026. As always, we are presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com, where you never reach into your pocket to pay the advocates, because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. You get clear, risk-free advice. And the advocates remind you this is the 100 deadliest days on the road. All the kids are out of school. There's a lot of football games in the front yard and hoops and wiffle ball and scooter riding and whatever it might be. There's a lot of people on the road. Avoid the distractions in the cockpit. Cockpit's in a plane, but you're in a car. Anyway, Top Gun and stuff. Avoid the distractions. Keep your focus on the road. And if the worst happens, get to the best at theadvocates.com. I don't even know where to go with this Brendan Sorsby story. And yes, I want to get right to work. First of all, let's just get a couple of things straight right out of the gate. If you're the one who believes that your school is completely innocent and would never no. First of all, you're all a bunch of hypocrites for coming after Texas Tech and this whole situation. That's number one, because I've seen it all over the place with Michigan fan saying that they've been absolved now and Texas Tech is far worse. Let's just be very clear. Jim Harbaugh is a scumbag. Butter Knives is a disgrace. Jabba the Manual is absolute humiliationville, which is exactly now where Cody Campbell lives. So lump them all together, but don't believe for a second that this is going to be isolated or this is the first time, because it's not the first time that we have seen this. No, we have seen this 100 different times with Buddy getting in 27th year of eligibility. We have seen this with all the lawsuit, like everything, right? The guy that played in the NBA and now is in college basketball. We've seen this repeatedly. The problem with this one is the NCAA did exactly what they should have done. That's what everybody is so tweaked about. They did it quickly. They did it correctly. They handed down the proper punishment. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't too little. The NCAA actually got this right, and yet they are not going to be able to enforce their own punishment because a jackwagon judge in West Texas, who did not go to Texas Tech but has strong ties to Texas Tech, ruled that Brendan Sorsby would be irreparably harmed if he were to lose his eligibility, which I think, as I said a week ago when he filed this thing, well, our actions have consequences. Our choices have consequences. So, of course, when you break the only rule you're not allowed to break, your actions have consequences. Who are you, Jonte Porter? Right? I mean, if you're gonna gamble on your own sport, you're never going to be allowed to compete in that sport. And from what the conversations were yesterday, and folks I talked to, Brendan Sorsby is going to have a tough time making his way in the NFL as well. Because now that Brendan Sorsby has been ruled ineligible and then eligible, what have we all been doing? Well, we've been going back and looking at his film at Cincinnati when he had 3 unthinkable and inexplicable turnovers in one game that you just can't rationalize. The terrible interceptions that you're wondering, Man, what was he doing throwing it there? Oh. Did he have an issue that he needed to throw an interception? Potentially. But how do you look at anything that Brendan Sorsby's done during his time at Indiana and Cincinnati, specifically Cincinnati, on the field of play and not believe that it was influenced by whatever was going on in his personal life that has now made him a victim? Yeah, because I can't separate the two. And so it's laughable when his attorneys, who call him Brandon instead of Brendan, want to make the case that integrity was never an issue. How do you can't make that. You can't, in all good faith and consciousness, make that argument, because you have no idea. You have no idea. Did he was gambling a ton. Do we know if he was compromised by a bookie? Do we have any idea? Do we have any idea if, hey, well, prop betting, maybe Buddy needs to throw 2 interceptions today. Maybe his number's 1.5. I'll fall out to the flat where none of my guys are believing it's going to go. Well, I was under a heavy pass rush. The guy was 15 yards away from me. I had to get rid of the ball. How are you ever going to prove that? Yet one guy was willing to take the risk, and his name is Cody Campbell. And this is the part where I think if you're looking for a villain, Cody Campbell's not hard to find. Cody Campbell, and I think with his ridiculousness about coming out yesterday and saying that he's happy to pay Sorsby the NIL money that they now owe him. You're happy to pay it. Oh, really? That's because you have no morals, you have no ethics, and you have no integrity. That's why you're happy to pay it. You're happy to pay it because somehow I think you believe that Brendan Sorsby is going to win you a playoff game? Because that, I think, is the other thing that we need to talk about here. Is Brendan Sorsby worth all of this? All of the karma that is about to avalanche down the hill and land in Lubbock? Is Brendan Sorsby, who by any measure is good, not great as a quarterback. He is not an elite quarterback. He is not a top 10 quarterback in the country even. You're paying him like he is because, well, you have money, as you like to tell everybody. But is Brendan Sorsby really worth all of this? My answer is I just don't believe that he is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how anybody would say that he is. I don't know. If you look at the behavior in the portal before he was at Texas Tech, I mean, you look at how teams viewed him and again, depending on what you believe that not, and this is not unique to Texas Tech, but just what teams knew or didn't know about his behavior at Indiana and Cincinnati, whether you believe that was public, behind the scenes industry knowledge or not. I think that kind of speaks to his value in the market, and I think it's pretty clear that they were after Sam Leavitt before they were after Brendan Sorsby. And that's been very much talked about, widely talked about. So it's not controversial, a hot take guy to say that he's not certainly the best quarterback in his class. And if he was one of the best quarterbacks in his class, he wouldn't have been playing at Cincinnati. And I think that's the tough part is that we're doing all this and all this consternation, all this fight over someone who, is not even Heisman worthy. You're not even in the conversation, really. That's the part that's amazing about this. And I think that what's really interesting too is when you look at Texas Tech in general, if you take a step back from Sorsby just for a moment and you look at, all right, well, we had, obviously, you win the Big 12, you go to the CFP, you get bounced. Now you had the Sark thing, now the Sorsby thing. Texas Tech has been on this run where it's dude, oh man, we won the Big 12, great, but then loss. And now you're in this position. And I just think no matter where you come down on this, I just don't know how you can tell yourself anything other than, yeah, this optics wise, like PR wise, this is not a great look for us at Texas Tech.
Yeah, I don't see it in any way, shape, or form. And I think Cody Campbell got exposed for the guy that he that he is, because I'll continue to say money does not define your character; it exposes it. And I think Cody Campbell's getting exposed to humiliate himself yesterday the way that he did. And you look at the things that he said, that he is super excited, happy to pay him, even if he can't play the first 2 games. Like, how tone deaf are you, bud? Like, how tone deaf are you? It's just completely tone deaf. And then to back that up by saying this unfortunate situation is the outcome of a broken system. No, it's not. The system's not broken in this case. It worked perfectly. Well, I'm doing everything I can to fix it. But until there's a permanent solution, Texas Tech and its student athletes have to do the best. No, this is a bunch of BS. The system is not broken when it pertains to Brendan Sorsby. He gambled on football. He gambled on his team at Indiana. He continued to bet at Cincinnati and at Texas Tech. There is literally nothing about what was done in the discipline of Brendan Sorsby that would indicate a system is broken. You, Cody Campbell, are the part of the system that is broken. You, Cody Campbell, are the problem. You, Cody Campbell, are what's wrong with college football. You, Cody Campbell, are the one that is the representation of everything that's broken with college football. You are a nobody who has billions, so you became a somebody. And you want to throw your money around and you think that your money is going to fix problems. The only issue with that is you now have become the problem because you're blind by your billions. You're blinded by your billions. So you have no morals, you have no ethics, and you have no integrity based singularly on your words and your actions.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you're a guy that's got a ton of money and you got into a game that you just enjoyed watching. And that was a cool little story, right? With the softball situation and then obviously the involvement in football. And then the Cinderella story, if you will, the feel good vibes, if you will, I feel like kind of fizzled out once the Sorsby situation and once Sark kind of those two things really started to kind of, grab a hold. And what's difficult is yesterday, like you have this situation going on where obviously everyone's talking about this, of course, everybody from reporter guy to keyboard warrior to, I mean, literally everybody. And what's difficult is that Cody Campbell is this guy who has billions of dollars and, is obviously a really successful businessman. I don't think anyone doubts that. But I think what happened yesterday was a guy who has billions of dollars got exposed for overplaying his hand with his billions of dollars. And I understand that hey, when you're the centerpiece of the conversation, when you're Cody Campbell in this situation, I think that there's a couple of ways you can go about this, right? Like obviously Cody could have gone into, what I would call like lockdown mode, where you're not really engaged on Twitter. You're not really addressing the public. You're just kind of dealing with this behind the scenes. You could have done that, but instead you chose to be very public with this. And you were all over the place on Twitter with all kinds of different keyboard warriors. You had this quote and that quote. Like, I just felt like yesterday we saw that Cody Campbell got a little flustered. He got a little rattled, right? Like, hey, you had this, what you thought was a great win. And then the entire college football universe, from ADs, presidents, reporters, keyboard warriors, they all kind of jumped on you and said, like, dude, this is a problem right here, man. Like this kid literally bet on his own team and got away with it. And now the precedent that this sets for the rest of the sport and for all kinds of other sports is terrible. So I feel like once Cody realized, hey, well, we've got a wildfire in our backyard here, like that flustered him, that rattled him a little bit. And so you saw that behavior on Twitter. And that's what I was amazed by. Up until this point, I kind of, like, I've never been a huge Cody Campbell fan, but I at least kind of felt like, all right, well, this guy obviously is a business operator. He's savvy. You know, he knows when not to talk. He knows when to talk. And I feel like that portion of it just kind of went out of the window yesterday. I felt like he talked way too much yesterday, and that really kind of put him in some tough positions.
Yeah, this is that scenario where you don't say anything at all if you're Cody Campbell. You let Joey McGuire, the head coach, do the talking. You let the athletic director do the talking. You let the lawyers do the talking. You release a statement from Brendan Sorsby saying he's humbled and thankful and has gratitude for the support. And I'm happy to have an opportunity to play. And you say nothing. You say nothing. And you certainly don't say you're happy and excited to pay him the money. You certainly don't say that. And again, I would just point out, and I would ask, Texas Tech fan, did you know he had a gambling problem before he came to Lubbock? And either answer is a problem. No, you didn't. Oh, well, you clearly didn't do your homework, because it turns out this was a not so secret. Everybody knew. Oh, you did know and you took him anyway. Not so good for you, is it? No. Right? So either way. And then the other question I would answer is, or I would have you answer is, if you are Texas Tech, why not just move on from him? Because the backlash we're going to talk about here in a second has been the greatest unification in college sports that I have ever seen. Nothing, nobody, no event, no happening, no singular individual has ever united the entirety of college athletics the way that Cody Campbell has united all of college athletics against him. It's remarkable. And Cody, you're about to find out that your billions of dollars cannot save you in this situation. You're about to learn that, because it doesn't matter how much money you have. When you have no morals and you have no ethics and you have no integrity and you refuse to be humble, people take notice. And people have taken notice. Your arrogance at Texas Tech. Oh, all you guys had to do, all you had to do was not fuck it up. That's all you had to do.
Literally. I mean, that might be the best way to describe it.
All you had to do was go get one of the better quarterbacks on the market. Instead, you went after a guy who was 48th in passing last year. 48th. And I would remind you who was 49th in passing last year. Baron Morton. Who was 48th? Brendan Sorsby. So, did you really even upgrade yourself? Well, that's to be determined. But you could easily have gotten, I don't know, any number of guys. Certainly you could have done what the scumbags in Stillwater did when they got the number one passer in college football last year at 4,379 yards and 34 touchdowns. That would be Drew, an esthetician Mestamaker. You could have gone and gotten any number of guys who transferred. Mm-hmm. But instead, you went and got the 48th guy to replace the 49th guy. And it turns out the 48th guy was a terrible, self-admitted gambler who now has unified the entirety of college football against you. All you had to do was not go get the gambling addict. All you had to do was not flaunt your billions. All you had to do was operate like the G in lasagna, bud. Just be silent. Just be silent, right?
Yeah, but that would have required them to be really good operators. And clearly they're not.
Yeah, instead you went lasagna, and you have completely screwed this thing up. Completely, your own arrogance has completely tanked you. And now, here we are with this situation where multiple conferences are talking about boycotting you. Multiple conferences, multiple voices, and significant ones. And how did Cody Campbell hurt Texas Tech yesterday? Georgia essentially tells Ross Dellinger that they're not going to play Texas Tech. Right? They're not going to play Texas Tech. And they tell Ross Dellinger this. They release this statement. And they release this statement to their coaches and staff. Effective immediately, no new contest should be scheduled against Texas Tech without prior approval from the athletics department. Georgia joins a list of the universities boycotting Texas Tech. So what does Cody Campbell do? He gets on Twitter and asks how many Georgia players have been arrested. Yes, Cody. Yes, make a complete jackass out of yourself.
That's exactly what I'm talking about when I say, dude, you talk too much, right? Like and here's the general gauge too, just on, because we all know that Twitter's like a cesspool, right? We're all in agreement, I feel like, that Twitter, generally speaking, is good for two things. And that's, following beat reporter guy or the Ross Dellingers of the world or whatever, or keeping tabs on information that you're interested in. Or the other side of the coin is keyboard warrior, cesspool, terrible energy, hating on people. And I felt like that as soon as the Georgia thing came out, he immediately goes to Twitter and deflects to all team SRT. And the hard part is that you're right, like billions of dollars as usual. And we knew this going in, but it's still just as shocking. Billions of dollars don't make you smart. They don't make you like a savant with how to handle PR relations or media relations or how to handle a certain situation. Or because remember, everybody was like, oh, you handled the Sark thing perfectly, like bulls and steers, and you better pack a lunch, Sark. And then this thing has just been an absolute disaster. So I don't quite understand why you went on Twitter and did this. Why did you do this, dude? Did you do you really think, Cody, that just immediately responding with more hate or a deflection or like more negativity, emotion, exactly, is going to fix this, dude? There's no way that this type of behavior fixes this. What happened to, and this is kind of my inner, dialogue with myself when I look at Cody Campbell. I'm like, wait a minute. What happened to Capitol Hill, wannabe congressman, roundtable guy that was in the Oval or whatever with Donnie and all those other guys, 6 weeks ago? What happened to that guy who was dealing with all the suits, in Washington? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's the crazy part. Like, 6 weeks ago, you were that guy. Now today, you're essentially a keyboard warrior on Twitter because you're emotional. That is the true, when you said 5 minutes ago or whatever that he exposed himself yesterday, that's exactly how he exposed himself yesterday. It's rough, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, I understand it. You want to be Big Daddy, pockets full of riches and stuff. You want to throw your wallet around and tell everybody who you are, and you want to be the guy. Cody Campbell is that guy who was a nothing. You take his billions away, and what is Cody Campbell? A nothing. Cody Campbell wants to define himself as a billionaire. Congratulations. Got all that money, bud, and nobody respects you.
Yeah. In fact, I would say now you're infamous. You are the villain of college football. There's no question about it.
And this idea that he is somehow the one trying to save college football is a joke. He wrote an op-ed where he talked about how if Georgia and the SEC were to cede from the NCAA, they'd have the same issues. Nobody's talking about them doing that. See, because they would collectively bargain with their athletes, which is what they're talking about. You're not talking about that because you don't want to take care of the athlete. You want to make yourself more money. You want to be the hero. And my issue continues to be with guys like Cody Campbell because it's pervasive in this country right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Cody Campbell is just the next guy who wants to run his gums because he's got a bunch of money and has no acumen to use that money for the betterment of his cause. Because he could easily be using this situation with Brendan Sorsby. The right thing to do would have been to say, hey, we are not going to support this. You admitted you bet on college football. We can't have you on our football team. You're welcome. I would have even said you're welcome to be a student at Texas Tech. We'll put you on scholarship. We're going to support you in this gambling thing. But hey, man, unfortunately, rules are the rules. We have ethics and integrity here at Texas Tech. We can't risk the ethics and integrity of our program by putting a known gambler on the field.
Ethics and integrity over winning football games. Unfortunately, we're
what
here.
You should have done.
Yeah. There's no question about it. And I think that and again, we spoke on this yesterday. The divide here is not just across the entire, it is the entire college football landscape. But if you look at the Big 12, I'm telling you, this is dangerous times for the Big 12 right now.
Yes, it is.
This, and again, not to keep telling you guys we told you so, but I remember I specifically said when the Sorsby thing first came out many, many weeks ago now, right? I specifically said if it comes out that they knew and they still signed him, or if he somehow wins the injunction and that happens, this will be the thing that drives a wedge into the Big 12. And this will be the thing that to this point in the story presents the biggest risk of Brett Yormark no longer being the commissioner of the Big 12. And why do I say that? And I don't say that lightly, but I say that because when you look at the Big 12, this will split the Big 12 into two groups. There will be a large group, a majority group that is with Brett that say, hey, this is not good enough, right? You've got the I believe it was Gene Taylor at Kansas State saying that this is BS and this is ridiculous and we can't have this. And so there's going to be a group of presidents like Gene who I would guess are in alignment in terms of their thinking with Brett Yormark, because I'm sure Brett's not a huge fan of what Tech is doing. I think we can all agree on that. So there's going to be that group with Brett, but then there's also going to be Tech and like maybe 2 to 3 other schools that are unified together. And so you're going to have this wedge. And at some point, Tech is either going to acquiesce and they're going to say, yeah, sorry, Brendan, we tried, but we just can't overcome this. It's too much. And if they don't want to do that, then I'm telling you, this is going to bleed onto the football field. And this is the part where it gets a little unfortunate. You want to use words like unfortunate? If this kid's on the football field, he will have a massive target on his back. People will go after this dude. People will not care about the 15-yard penalty or whatever the ramifications or whatever it is. You know what I think will happen? You want to talk about, you want to use all that cool like Texan language of packing a lunch and bulls and steers and all that crap. People are going to play you. And when they play you, they're going to say, okay, we're going to go get him. We're going to remove him from the game by hitting him. And then we can play a football game. I'm telling you, if you allow him to play, you will see nasty ass stuff on the football field.
I don't think it ever gets there. I don't think it ever gets there. My guess is
to get there.
Oh, I think they would love him to play for them on the field, outside of the first 2 weeks, and they're happy to pay him. They're excited. I think what you are looking at here is these meetings that will happen today, this emergency meeting with Big 12 executives and Brett Yormark today. or as it was described, stakeholders, the conference is going to line up against Texas Tech and Cody Campbell. And I think that you are looking at a situation where teams in the Big 12, because you look at, yesterday was actually quite a good day for the Big 12. If you had never had the Sorsby thing, like this Utah announcement that they're done with Under Armour, oh my gosh.
Huge.
How many times have I said that on this show? Like you're making more money, you're moving things forward, like everything's great. And then you throw the kerosene can and all into the fire with Brendan Sorsby, and the world melts down. And you have guys like athletic directors like Mark Harlan. You have Brett Yormark releasing what is anything it is quintessential, guarded, measured, right? This is about as measured as you're going to get. You have a league that is in crisis. You have a league that is over, and Cody Campbell is squarely to blame for this. Hey, by the way, does anybody know the name of the athletic director at Texas Tech? Does anybody know the name of the president? Does anybody know the name? No, you don't. You know Cody Campbell's name. This is squarely Cody Campbell's fault. When you operate in a manner where you think your money is going to get you out of every situation, which is, I believe, how Cody Campbell operates. When your money is the only reason you have a seat at the table, you lack experience, you lack savvy, you lack, again, ethics, integrity, and morals. The right thing for Cody Campbell to have done here was to cut ties with Brendan Sorsby. And I don't believe for a second, that Texas Tech truly cares about Brendan Sorsby, the human being. Wow. I don't believe that's the case. Because if you did, you would never have allowed him to enroll at Texas Tech. Because what you've essentially done is you have put him in the middle of the college football world with a bullseye on his back. That's what you've done to Brendan Sorsby. You have made him the target, the villain, the public enemy number one of college football. That's what you've made Brendan Sorsby. You've done this to him, Cody Campbell. You singularly have done this to him. Because I still would say, and I saw all the jackassery on Twitter last night, please stop saying that Cody Campbell bribed judges. You have no evidence of that. That is a very serious allegation. And if you said that, because there were several people who tweeted that at him, I hope he comes for you. I hope he comes after you, and whatever it is, slander, libel, whatever it is, I hope Cody Campbell comes for you. Because that is ridiculous. You know what the saddest thing is? I don't think he would have ever even had to go that far to get the ruling he wanted. Cody Campbell, I want to know who paid for the lawyers. Who paid for Jeffrey Kessler? Who paid for the Speaker of the House of Representatives in Texas to be the B chair? The number 2 guy from Brendan Sorsby.
Does it matter who paid for it if you're guilty in the court of public opinion?
Yes. If Cody Campbell paid for those attorneys, he's enabling this guy, which he's doing through his NIL payment that he's excited about and happy to pay. But if you paid for this dude's attorneys, come on, man. You're already paying for his education. Who's paying for the addiction treatment? Because you cannot tell me that Brendan Sorsby has a dime left to his name. If he had money left to his name, why is he holding out $1 million on Cincinnati? Oh, that's right. You knew about that too. Are you telling me that Cody Campbell had no idea? Because it's, again, Texas Tech fan, I know you get fired up when I talk about Cody Campbell, but here's the truth. Are you telling me Cody Campbell had no idea that this cat was in breach of contract at Cincinnati? Are you telling me Cody Campbell had no idea he was a gambling addict? Are you telling me that Cody Campbell had no idea Brendan Sorsby continued to bet when he was on campus at Texas Tech? Or enrolled at the very least at Texas Tech? Because what did I say about Jim Harbaugh? You knew and you did nothing about it. NCAA violation. You didn't know and it went on under your watch. NCAA violation. Doesn't matter. You're responsible. Hey, Cody Campbell. Hey, buddy, you're standing on your wallet telling everybody you're a billionaire. Guess what? Did you know all those things? Did you know he was a gambling addict? Did you know he was in breach of contract? Did you know he continued gambling in as a Texas Tech student? Oh, you did? Oh, okay. So you're enabling him. That's an NCAA violation. Brendan Sorsby should never play college football again, and Texas Tech should face severe sanctions. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, well, you're derelict in your duty then. Although I guess as a billionaire, you don't have to worry about your duty. You don't have to have morals, ethics, and integrity because you have $5 trillion. And you're happy to pay Buddy his millions so he can continue to bet. Because one way or the other, if you knew and you're happy to pay him, you're saying go ahead and continue to bet. If you didn't know and you paid him and he continued to bet, there's no way that you're right here. You know what would have been right? You're a gambling addict who bet on college football. You admitted that. You can't be quarterback at Texas Tech. We don't do those things here in West Texas. If you'd watch Landman, you would know that.
What do you have to do to get kicked off the Tech football team?
I have no idea at this point. I have no clue. Because now Cody Campbell, with this ridiculousness, what happens the first time a player gets arrested at Texas Tech?
You already know.
Cody?
You already know.
Cody?
This is what I say, dude. Like, I guess I just... I look at Cody and I just feel like what you said about money exposing people is true time and time again. And what I think is really, it's not scary for me because it has no implications on me or us or fans, in my opinion. But what's scary if you're at Tech or you're in that football program, or obviously if you're Cody Campbell and the situation you're in here is, this has massive, wide-ranging impact on your future in college football in the sense of the Super League or whatever that new entity is going to be called. And like, this goes so much further than anything you do this season. Like yesterday, the thing that kind of bothered me too, I was like, I saw the Tech fans on Twitter like trying to defend this and like, oh, Tech didn't do anything wrong. And I just wanted to say, like, you guys understand that nobody cares what you do this season now, right? You understand that? Nobody gives a damn. It doesn't, it literally doesn't matter.
Every result that Sorsby's involved in.
And the thing is, the reason nobody cares is, yes, it's tainted. Couldn't agree more. But secondly, we're too busy talking about how nobody wants to play you. And if they have to play you, if they're contractually obligated, if they're forced to, because Tech is going to play football games this year. Like in some form or fashion, Texas Tech football will be on the field. The only question is it Sorsby or is it Will Hammond? And if it's
the
Sorsby,
sad thing is Will Hammond is likely a better quarterback.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
He's likely a better quarterback than Brendan Sorsby is.
But now
based on what we saw on the field last year, it's potential. He's a quarterback, but college quarterbacks like Will Hammond generally trend up. Will Hammond was a 48th passer last year in college football. Baron Morton was 49. Will Hammond is, I think, significantly better than Baron Morton, who is about the same as Brendan Sorsby. Those are, go look it up. 48th, Brendan Sorsby. 49th, Baron Morton. You can't make it up. You could not fairy tale that. Oh,
and
well, Monty, he was at Cincinnati. Who cares?
Yeah, and I feel like now the problem is let's say you did cut Sorsby at a certain point, whether that's today or a month from now, but like let's say that at some point we get to a day where Cody Campbell comes out and just completely 180s and says that, you know what, like after reevaluating, we're actually not super excited to pay him for his NIL and the $4.5 million we owe him or whatever. $5 million. You know, we're actually not excited to pay him that. We're actually removing him from the football team. Yeah, dude, the problem is now you can't unwind the watch. The problem is now we're forever going to look at Texas Tech while Cody Campbell's involved and these current figures are involved and say, all right, well, what's next, dude? What are we looking past next? Because this graphic right here, this is the one that I was like, yep, this is exactly what I'd be saying if I was a Big 12
coach. Yeah, you
coach,
said this last week. You said this last week.
Dude, I like literally, look at what this says. Quote, if this is the precedent, then I owe it to my players to bring in people from Las Vegas to teach us how to gamble. And then collectively, we need to decide which games we'll play hard in and which games we won't to cover the spread or not cover the spread. Yeah. Quote, I'm supposed to do what's best for my players. And in that case, they would be able to make a lot of money betting on our games. That's the precedent for me. Couldn't agree more, dude. Couldn't agree more. If we're going to play this game, you want to play stupid games, we're going to win stupid prizes. And that's exactly what this is, bro. And I at some point, when you do stuff like what Cody Campbell and Texas Tech are doing, when you enable this type of behavior, when you want to play in this kind of sandbox, when you want to run this kind of business, you are going to pay a price. And sometimes the non-monetary price, the price that happens in relationships and the damage you do with your colleagues and your reputation and that area of life is, I mean, you can't measure the damage you've done here. And this is why yesterday too, like we're going through the day yesterday, like show ends and, you know, me and Monty are doing what we do. And, you know, we text and all that. And we were both like, how long is Brett Yormark going to wait to put out a statement, dude?
I even tweeted it.
Yeah. Like how long? How long are we going to sit here and let coaches like that, you know, and all the other guys come out and comment, and then you get this statement. Look at this. Look at this. Gene Taylor at K-State, bro, not a small figure in the Big 12, like a major figure in the Big 12, saying it's effing BS. Like, do you understand if you're going to attach your name to a quote like that? Do you understand how strongly you have to feel about something to get this out of the Gene Taylors of the world? This is a huge problem. And I don't think people quite understand just how pissed the Big 12 officials are about this, man. This is not a joke. This is not like, oh yeah, like, you know, this is just a small thing. Like, yeah, we're kind of annoyed about it, but no big deal. No, people are pissed off, dude. Yeah, like people are mad, dude.
Right? Look at
crazy.
Mark Harlan surprisingly measured to Pete the Mole. As with many around the country, I am disheartened by the injunction issued today in the Brendan Sorsby matter, which will allow him to compete this fall despite clear violations of NCAA policies and ethical guidelines. We're all committed to supporting student athletes' well-being, but we also must have a definitive path forward that preserves the most basic tenets of competitive integrity in our industry. How many times are we going to say ethics and integrity that lack in Lubbock? Cody Campbell has no ethics and no integrity. He's got billions of dollars, and he's happy to tell you that. Well, I'm a rich guy. Look at the SCORE Act, right? Like I'm saving college football. Don't look at Brendan Sorsby. I'm saving college football. What, with your $1 million pitcher can't play quarterback? That's the problem in Lubbock. And here's the other thing. And then I'm going to get to your comments because I'm not trying to be Mr., utopic guy. I'm not trying to be perfect world, and I totally get it. We all make mistakes. Let me ask you, what does this say to the average Joe who is dealing with a mental health crisis? Do you think there are any college football fans that have mental health, depression, anxiety? Do you think there's any of those guys? Because that's Brendan Sorsby's argument. This is a mental health crisis. I am being unjustly punished. What about, like, you're making a mockery of mental health?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. And if you are somebody that deals with depression and anxiety and whatever you think of that, If you're somebody that deals with depression and anxiety and you're watching the story, aren't you asking why Cody Campbell's not giving you $5 million? Aren't you asking why, if you're a gambling addict, why Texas Tech won't allow you to go to their school and get treatment? You're making a mockery out of addiction and mental health. Because I do not believe for a second that this is a mental health crisis for Brendan Sorsby. I do not believe that for a second. This is greed. This is what's wrong with Murica right now. I'm just telling you. So, let's get your comments in here this morning. I appreciate everybody being here on the Monty Show, presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. First in today is Corey, who's been a member for 14 months. Corey.
Nice.
I like their want to spend, but just buy a new quarterback. That's what I'm saying, bro. Brendan Sorsby is not Arch Manning.
You thought this guy was the best quarterback in college football or something, man.
Pick your poison of quarterbacks. He's not. Oh my God, his name just went right out of my head. Dude at Ohio State. He's not Julian Sayin.
Yeah.
He's not you've got Will Hammond, who's likely better. That's the hardest part for me to justify is you have a quarterback in-house who's likely better than Brendan Sorsby.
But isn't this how it always goes? Like someone does something really dumb and the justification for it just wasn't great. Like they're like, you put yourself in such a bind here and in such a tough position over what? Yeah.
God, Jake.
I know. Not everybody can do what I do once every 2 years, but I'm here today. So thank you.
Because usually on the record, you say stupid shit like about everything. And then like Brendan Sorsby shows up and you're like Cody Campbell scholarly level and stuff. So
that's me and his money.
Where's my $5 million, dude?
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly right. Corey, thanks for supporting the show. Ken Maynard, big night for you, dude.
Hey,
Kenny, what did Brendan say about the line tonight?
Yeah.
Must win for the Canes tonight.
Yeah.
Must win for the Canes tonight. My wife decided, because she's got this real job and stuff, she decided to come home late last night. It's a Stanley Cup final. Get your ass home. Get in the kitchen. Cook me something.
Yeah.
She would kill me if she but huge game tonight. Canes and VGK, it's a must win. You lose this game, the series is over.
Yeah.
In shocking fashion. If you keep FSU out of the CFP for an injured QB, wow, are we really going back to that?
Apparently.
You can keep Texas Tech out for a gambling QB.
Yeah, see, it's never going to get there, though. Here's the deal, dude. I saw this yesterday a lot, too. Everyone was like, oh, well, man, the committee's got to keep Tech out. Tech will not make the college football playoff. And you know why they won't make the college football playoff? It'll be for one of two reasons. And again, I'm going to die on this hill before we ever snap a football. One, they're not going to have the schedule, so they won't get in on strength of schedule alone. One. But two, and in my opinion, the more likely scenario of the two would be that they're going to run his ass out there on the field somehow, some way. Don't know how you do that to Buddy, but they will. And he won't survive 2 games because people will be going after him the whole game. You know that play where quarterbacks are running towards the sideline and they'll just kind of throw it away and the defender doesn't hit him? Yeah, they're going to hit him there. They're going to drop him there every time. Yeah. And I just think that I really have a hard time seeing them getting to even the Big 12 championship game just on premise alone. People will not cut them slack. People will not give them a free pass. And it's extremely rare. We almost never see this in professional athletics or college athletics where you have this type of situation. This is a, I mean, I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong, but this feels like almost like a once in a lifetime type situation.
I can't remember a time where an entire existence so swiftly lined up behind Texas Tech. Like, I can't remember a time. where so many people lined up in a matter of hours.
Fuck you.
Yeah, like I
Fuck
can't.
You.
Yeah,
Suck.
yeah. Nick Fuentes even hates Texas
Fuentes
Tech.
is here today.
Racist. But the point is, I agree with you. Wow, that's twice.
Careful
agree
now.
with
Careful
you.
now. Careful.
I agree
for
with
moments
you.
like that.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you that the world's lining up against Texas Tech. But here's my belief. And in the comments section, tell me does Brendan Sorsby ever play a game for Texas Tech? No, he does not. Because again, maybe I'm a simp. I totally get that.
A sheep.
You know, I think Brendan Sorsby at some point has had to go to Joey McGuire, or excuse me, to Palpatine Cody Campbell.
Palpatine.
I have to believe that he's gone to them and said, "Hey, why don't I just withdraw here? Why don't I just, step away, and I have mental health issues. I just why not just say, you know what? I feel like I've been a distraction. I'm going to go and prepare for the NFL and the supplemental draft." I have to believe he's offered himself up to that.
I'm not convinced. I got to be honest. You know why?
Dude, buddy, it's baseball season, and he's running out of time.
It's like the 7th inning here, bro. We got camp coming up here. What's today? June 9th. Camp starts in August, right? Like, this is not far away, bro. I mean, literally, like, when you think about the timeline here that they have to figure this out internally, like you're talking about 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Wait. There isn't a figure it out internally. You have Will Hammond sitting here.
Yeah, but you've made but again, you're committed to dude now. Like, you've gone to court for Buddy. You allegedly, not factually, I'm not accusing anybody of anything.
Allegedly.
Somebody, somewhere, somehow paid Jeffrey Kessler to do what Jeffrey Kessler does for Brandon. Don't call me Brendan. So again, I'm just saying you're just a little bit committed to this guy. Just a little bit here. So I don't know, man. I tend to agree that I have a hard time, literally seeing him on the football field and in a Red Raider uniform. But then I'm like, dude, like, if they're willing to go to court with Buddy, like, what are they unwilling to do? What would be too far for Cody Campbell and company, dude?
I don't know. But Kenny, I don't think he ever plays for them. I don't. Lonnie Johansson, good morning.
Lonnie.
Hello.
Hey.
Been a member for 32 months. Appreciate that support. Thank you. The Chad Carter, that well-digging fool, just became a member of the Monty Show.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the membership. Appreciate that very much. Let's see who's all up in the stuff. Noel Ramirez, hello. You would think the other players on Tech would say this is a detriment to their careers and leave the program. Yeah, I don't think so. They're all getting paid very well. Good point, Kenneth. The Tech players pull a GI party on Sorsby in the locker room. What, do you think they're going to put a bunch of bars of soap and batteries in a sock and go to town? I somehow don't see that. I don't see that. Rock and Rant, hello. I've never seen the sports world so united on anything. Any average Texas Tech van just got caught in the middle of this through no fault of their own. Yeah, the average Texas Tech fan is feeling the pain today. I agree. That last sentence, I think Cody Campbell has gone from a solution to a massive problem at Texas Tech. My advice, and Cody, I know that you watch this show every day.
And with all due respect,
he has never heard of me. My advice, if Cody Campbell were here and I was talking directly to him, do not say 2 words until kickoff. I don't want to see your face. I don't want to see you on Twitter. Go destroy the earth and dig up oil, whatever you do in West Texas. Again, I watch Landman. I know what you guys are about.
Buy a new cowboy hat. There's nothing wrong with that, dude.
Right? Go cut the balls off of a bull and make them a steer. Totally get it. Boy. Yeah. You love them nuts. You do you. Disappear. Stop talking. Stop making statements. Stop doing op-eds. You're toxic. You are radioactive. You need to disappear. We need to not hear from you. You need to go to whatever your triple capital Falcon oil company thing is. Go crush it. You're a great oil man. You're a great businessman. I have a lot of respect for the money you've made in business, dude. Go get it. Stop fucking around with Texas Tech football because you're doing damage
to yourself and to Tech.
You are doing damage. You are putting your fan base through wholly unnecessary consternation. This is all self-made. This damage is all self-inflicted.
Doesn't make you feel responsible.
You did this, Cody Campbell. Now you need to disappear. Don't want to see your face until kickoff. Don't want to hear from you. Don't want to see you on Twitter. Don't want to see you doing interviews. Don't want to see you at the White House. Disappear. That's all you need to do, man. But you're a narcissist, so you can't. That's right. That's right.
I will also say a goated narcissist, because this is all-time stuff right here.
That's not wrong. Wow, look at this. Joseph Melendez for $20. Let's go.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much. You guys, the support of the show, the tip jar yesterday was legit. Over 100,000 views on the channel yesterday. Legit, like really.
Yeah, yesterday was wild on the channel viewership wise.
Really appreciate everybody watching our shorts and our videos, and just cannot tell you how much we appreciate you hitting the like button. Please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Joey Melendez. I wonder if tech idiocy is the golden ticket for the federal government to step in and muddy the water.
Man.
Gambling is typically their gateway into sports, which will have repercussions on everyone, especially smaller schools. This is an interesting conversation, right? Your $20 well spent. Let me ask you this. Is gambling to blame for this?
No.
Is gambling, and this is this ultimate conversation. I know I say this all the time, so I'm sorry if this is redundant for you. Gambling is the freedom that we all have earned through wars and deaths and freedom, right? We all want freedom. But now you exercised your freedom. You lost a bunch of money. You became a gambling addict. There are no repercussions for that. There are no missed games. There are no suspensions. You're missing 2 games of zero consequence if you're Brendan Sorsby. That's the entirety of his repercussion.
And that's the punishment his legal defense came up with. Just want to point that out.
There are no repercussions. You're still getting your money that Cody Campbell is excited and happy to pay. And we just continue to move on about our lives. This is the ultimate of all the crappy things people have done to get pardons this year. This is the ultimate pardon.
Yeah.
Freedom is amazing. But if you're a human being worth anything as a human being, aren't you craving accountability? And don't we all aspire to be strictly self-accountable for our actions? I think we do. I think we do. Yet we do not on any level want self-accountability. We want a free pass.
It's an excuse to say that gambling's to blame for this situation. Gambling is not to blame. Humans' abuse of gambling is to blame.
Yep. Ryan Duffy. Just a horrible feeling this morning for those who don't agree with the outcome and want the kid gone. Well, it's not that people want the kid gone. See, this is, and I'll give you credit, you've been pretty down the middle on this whole thing. As a Tech fan, I think you've been pretty down the middle. You hate Steve Sarkisian. You like bulls to have their steers clipped and stuff.
Macaque.
You're pretty down the middle as a Texas football fan. But it's hyperbole like, want the kid gone. Nobody wants the kid gone. We want rules enforced equally. He broke a major rule.
The only rule.
He was penalized for that. And we paid him $5 million because of it. The penalty was $5 million that he gets paid. Where do I get that plan? The NCAA, for the first time maybe ever, people agree the NCAA did their job. They didn't drag their feet. They didn't have this go out over years. We weren't adjudicating cheeseburgers for hungry kids for like 2 years. They did their job, and they did it well. And the kid still gets $5 million. Oh, that's right. He's not a kid anymore. He's a full-grown adult.
Oh.
Who made choices that have consequences. Nobody wants the kid gone. Nobody wants the kid gone.
Nobody woke up and was like, "Yeah, screw Brendan Sorsby. He's a douche. He's a bag. Like
Man.
what a loser." Like, nobody's saying that.
Brendan Sorsby would have to be of consequence.
Let me fix it for
on
you,
the football
Ryan.
field.
Let me fix this. We wouldn't be talking about Buddy if Buddy hadn't abused his app on his phone, and if Buddy hadn't have sent, what was the estimate? Like, I think it was like 60 G's or maybe it was 90 G's through different people to
40
place
bets
positions
on his own phone, on his own team, rather.
I mean, listen, dude, like, again, I'm going to maintain, and this is what the asinine take of Cody going to the Georgia all SRT thing. The SRT isn't the problem, bro. The 700 horsepower motor in that car is not the problem. That thing is a work of art. The problem is the dude behind the wheel smashing the gas pedal, doing 100 in a 35. That's the problem, dude. The problem is not the fact that we have the ability to gamble, or that it's as accessible as it's ever been, or that, prediction markets are just pervasive in U.S. American culture now. No, the problem is that Brendan Sorsby is irresponsible and an addict. That's the problem. And the bigger problem, Ryan, is that Cody Campbell has become, before this whole situation, I maintain, has become the face of tech football. Cody Campbell is more a face of tech football than your head coach, than your AD, than the president of the school. Cody is tech football right now. And now the problem is Cody is, through his behavior, through his actions, through his voice on Twitter, what he literally typed out, kind of defending this kid and supporting this kid and saying he's excited to pay for the kid. Like, that's the problem here. So let's stop saying things like, we want the kid gone. No, what we want is for tech to operate with some level of common sense, and for there to be a line drawn in the sand that says, hey, while there's a million rules in the rule book that you can't, or that you shouldn't break, not all rules are created equal. And this is the one rule you cannot break. Like, you can't do this and still play, yet now this kid's gotten away with it. So you want to play stupid games. Now the entire world is out to get you in the college football land. Like, it is what it is.
Man, we just don't have consequences for our actions.
Well, there will be consequences for this. There will be.
I think the consequence will be that I think Brendan Sorsby will step away, or they will, whatever. He will not play for them because I think the Big 12 is going to boycott them. If Brendan Sorsby is allowed to play quarterback at Texas Tech, I don't think a single Big 12 team will play him, will play that game. They will boycott him. And justifiably so, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what the right thing to do with that is. But I just, if you are, I mean, how do his teammates feel about this? We've heard from Joey McGuire. We've heard from Cody Campbell. I would love to know how his teammates feel about this. You can't tell me they're happy about it.
No way.
I don't buy that for a second. All right, let's run through some of your comments. Yes, please hit the like button. Really appreciate that. Lopes fan Gabe, always good to see you. Ethics and integrity, smiles and glory holes. Well, listen, we can joke all day if you want.
Smiles,
I'm just telling you that the lack of integrity is a big deal with Cody Campbell. We have in this country, and this is why people shame the rich, which is a huge pet peeve of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the fact that we shame people who do well in this world. Cody Campbell has earned the shaming today. He has earned the flogging that he has taken. We talked about it earlier if you're just tuning in, where Jake and I had an argument on text last night about people on Twitter accusing Cody Campbell of bribing judges. I don't believe he ever did that. And I hope he sues every one of them. Because it's not the right thing to do. But I understand why people are saying that. I understand why people believe that rich people get away with murder in this country. Because they do. It's who we've become.
Mm-hmm. It's the essence of capitalism.
And so a guy like Brendan Sorsby, who's rich, allegedly getting a handout from a rich guy, who's surprised? None of us are surprised.
Yeah, and I just think that, I agree that it's a dangerous game to slander people and do that.
I do not
be
believe
doing that
on any level that Cody Campbell is bribing judges.
Yeah, you don't have any evidence of that. It's a severe and wild accusation to make. Here was my problem, though. If you're Cody Campbell, and this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, and this is where he's exposing himself for who he really is mentally. This was my problem. You're so emotional about this. You are so, invested in the narrative here that you're a billionaire and tech's number one booster, and in my opinion, a closeted politician of sorts. You're so invested in this that you're interacting with keyboard warrior guy on Twitter. Like it's weird to me, dude. I mean, did you really think you were going to open Twitter and people weren't going to be accusing you of this, or that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird, bro.
And that's where you lose me. I don't care if you're a keyboard warrior guy or the most prominent figure in the world. If you accuse me of felonies, and I'm going to sue you. If your claims are baseless and fabricated, I'm going to sue you. You don't come after somebody's good name without evidence. Okay, bro, you don't need to accuse Cody Campbell of alleged bribery of judges with no evidence. He's done a number of jackass type things that are easily provable. I don't know, like, hey, we're excited and happy to pay him the $5 million, even though he's admitted to gambling hundreds and thousands of times, placing 40 bets on his own team. We're happy. You're excited and happy to pay a college football player who's admitted he's bet on his own team 40 times. You're excited about that? You're happy to pay that much. Go after him on that. No ethics, no morals, no integrity from the guy bitching about how broken the system is. You're the one breaking the system. You're the one causing the problem. Go after him on that. Don't make up wild accusations about him that you have no foundation and no truth on. That's ridiculous. Why would you do that? There's no reason to do that. Now, the problem is he also won't respond to those. But top road jam. As humans, we are and have always been a detriment to each other. Truth. Say less. Too real. Right? Boomer Sooner, hello. Saw a report saying the Big 12 is one of the conferences seriously debating on boycotting playing Texas Tech. They are. There is an emergency meeting starting today and carrying over to tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, and I think we saw the cultural differences in conferences yesterday. And what I mean is the SEC quickly and swiftly came out and said, "Hey, we're not playing Tech. We're not doing it." And that to me speaks to what I always kind of bring up, which is Sankey is the best commissioner in college sports, dude. He's got that thing running well, and he's got a really, really strong, grounded relationship with his ADs and presidents. And that's why I think you see them moving so quickly and so swiftly on this. I was definitely a little disappointed by, it's not to say Brett did a bad job, but I was a little disappointed in the statement. I was a little disappointed in just the reaction of this, because there's never going to be a day where the commissioner's office in the Big 12 comes out in support of the Brendan Sorsby situation. That's not happening. And the only question that remains in the conference is, how can we most politically correctly say that we're not going to be playing Texas Tech and that we don't support their behavior without absolutely nuking the conference? That's the problem. And
it's a civil war.
Yeah,
you are
no
fighting yourself inside.
Yeah.
So, and I get it. Now, any Tech sporting event will be under the dark cloud of suspicion. What school would want to subject themselves to participate with this team? I have no idea.
Nobody, dude. Nobody.
No idea. CFB 1923. This was not a Lubbock County judge who said that it was. And it was not a Texas Tech judge who said that it was. Nobody here said it was. Tarrant County is nearly 300 miles away. Tech was not part of the... You really believe Texas Tech wasn't part of the lawsuit? Look, you can continue to try and spin this. The judge has... I think the judge's kids went, or son went to Tech, or their dude. You really want to die on this hill? You think Cody Campbell played no part in this lawsuit? Again, I just ask, who paid for the attorneys? Because you can't tell me Brendan Sorsby can afford that. Who paid for the attorneys? You think no boosters, Cody Campbell, nobody, Brendan Sorsby or his family paid for those attorneys? And you think that just because the judge is a Tarrant County judge who's retired, I would remind you, and you really think that he has no role in making, and you think he has no connections? You really are you believe that? Come on. You think 300 miles insulates you somehow? Which is crazy, because the original judge was a Tech grad, but he did the right thing and recused himself. New judge, not Tech alum, but manages to pull an Aileen Cannon move of dumbassery. Well, but it's not even that. Ken Curry is retired. I'm just telling you, just because this guy is, and this is how stupid people can be. You guys understand that this judge wasn't in Tarrant County. I mean, I'm hoping you understand that. Right? You understand that. You understand that this was heard in the Lubbock Judicial Circuit. Or you don't. You probably don't. You don't want to know that. Let me look up. I think I know his name is Ken Curry. I read about it yesterday. Judge, Texas Tech ties. What do you want to bet? That this will come up with yeah, it was heard in the 99th Judicial District Court in Lubbock County. So, well, 300 miles away, Monty. What's that got to do with the price of tea in West Texas? Are you kidding me? Is Baylor going to push him into a Gatorade cooler? They could. They very well could, Julie. The Texas Tech first two opponents will be Texas State and Alcatraz University Penitentiary. This is a jail joke. The Big 12 is united against this. I don't know if I would go that far yet. Calling Cody Campbell a nothing is petty and uninformed. Well, I also don't have his nuts on my chin, so I can speak freely. National Merit Scholar, college football player. What does that have to do with it?
And you didn't know any of that before he started supporting Tech.
What does that have to do with anything? What does his oil money have to do with anything? What did I say? He's a good businessman. You know what the problem is? He knows nothing about college athletics. He knows nothing about legislation. Cody Campbell is the guy who wants to throw his $1 billion around and tell you he's a billionaire, show you his money, and then supports a guy like Brendan Sorsby, the 48th passer in the country last year. You're doing all of this for a guy who is essentially as good as Baron Morton was, who was the 49th passer last year. Is Brendan Sorsby really worth all of this? No, he's not. No, he's not. Plain and simple. It's wild. Ryan Duffy. If Tech doesn't step in and let Sorsby go, they have destroyed any chance of being included in the Super League. Nah, let's not get carried away. Let's not get carried away. Jay McClanahan. If I were a Big 12, I would make a Sorsby rule. Sure, you can play, but every time snap football, automatic 15-yard penalty. Yeah, I don't think so. Come on. Well, if Tech does the right thing and tells Sorsby they are moving on without him, they can change the narrative. But at this point, they are backing him and look idiotic for it. Yeah, they're never going to eat their humble pie on this.
No.
That's not happening. Chad Carter. I hope the Big 12 doesn't screw the pooch like the Big 10 did when the cheaters with the cheaters in Ann Arbor. I've got my measuring stick ready.
Couldn't agree more, Chad. Couldn't agree more, dude.
100%. Tiger Jeb. Hello. I am Tulane's self immolated their basketball program for 5 years for playing for player gambling years old. Well, okay. Truth. It's a good point. Good example. Phenomenal Hebrew. If we didn't have a corrupt court system, we wouldn't have to worry about Brendan. Well, I don't know that there was corruption involved in the ruling. What makes us think that there was corruption involved in the ruling? I'm not going to like, again, what makes us think that? Why are we leaping to corruption? Maybe Ken Curry's just a shitty judge. I mean,
well, I mean, I look, there's no evidence, right? But I think it would be, it's clear why people have emotions around corruption in this story. Like, you have optics are not great around, you don't have any evidence to support. Like, it's the reason it's being brought up so much is because it's such a shocking ruling. It is such a just outlandish, just a so far out there decision that many people don't feel there's another way it could have happened other than that. But that doesn't mean you have evidence, and that doesn't mean that you should accuse people until you do have evidence. But I'm telling you, if it does ever come out, that's going to be a rough day. So
that's interesting. I mean, listen, I want to say his son-in-law went to Texas Tech or something. I don't believe that Ken Curry's corrupt. You don't throw your career away on a football player. I mean, I guess stranger things. I just am not willing to make that leap. I'm not willing to. He was paid off, and there were broad.
I don't think that anybody should make the leap. What all I'm saying is that I definitely and definitively understand why, keyboard warrior nobody guy on Twitter is taking that leap because of the optics here. You just can't. Again, because it's such an outlandish ruling, it makes people wonder. It does.
Yeah, I agree with. I should say I understand that.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I just would.
But I wouldn't be going on Twitter just plainly, thumbing out tweets about, well, certain individuals paid certain individuals to get a certain result. I wouldn't be doing that, dude. That's just probably not good for you.
I probably wouldn't be making that leap. I just don't. Yeah. Red Wine, the child of avarice, the brother of inequity, and the father of mischief.
Sure.
General Washington on gambling. Okay. H-Town King. Ho ho. I hope Texo line is really good because this feels like a target has been placed on Sorsby. He may be targeted for rough play this season. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
When are we going to hear from Joey on this?
Yeah. When? Yeah. Joey, Joseph Melendez. We were hearing from Joey right now. Joseph Melendez.
Right. Joseph Melendez.
$20 more. Thank you, Joseph. To be clear, I don't blame gambling, but with the Safe Bet Act being discussed, I worry that this will trigger a response like Pete Rose controversy spurned the PASPA Act, only this time regulating sports themselves. I don't
disagree. It's certainly a catalyst. I mean, certainly.
But doesn't it need to be unequivocal without question? I think if you are a paid professional athlete on any level, college, pro, cricket, card player guy, you should not be allowed to gamble.
Yeah, I look. Yeah, there's no question. I mean, it's point blank, no question about it. And I think that the real thing here is that this doesn't just affect people in the industry. Like, this is TV partners, this is ad partners, it's extremely damaging to ESPN, NBC, whoever you want to look at, to have any type of questions about a TV product in a sporting event and the outcome of that, and whether that outcome is rigged or not. This is why I've continued to say all season long, in the rare times that we do have a reason to talk about the NBA, that the officiating is awful and it damages the product. And we will get to the NBA before the show is over, because that was a point of contention last night. And it makes, again, just like I said, what did I say about the game last night on the show yesterday? It'll be 5 points. It was 4 points. And it will go deep into this series. Why? Because that's better for the NBA, which is what we've talked about for decades in the NBA. So they've been able to walk the line. But this is more severe because it's like, yeah, he just bet on his own team. And by the way, he's a quarterback, so he's got inside information that nobody else would have. And then before, I just want to get out in front of this too. Well, hey, Monty, hey, Two Holes. What's the big deal? He bet on his team to win. That's not a big deal. Yeah, here's
integrity,
the problem.
Monty.
Here's the problem, dude. When he doesn't bet, you know what the problem is? When he doesn't bet, that's going to impact other gamblers who would be betting on his team. That sends a signal, hey, X, Y, and Z might be happening today. So before you get out and say, oh, well, he never bet on his team to lose, what's the big deal? It matters, dude. It absolutely matters.
Yes. Yeah. Big Blue Horses. I'm not an NCAA guy, but part of the reason it's been weakened is its member institutions filing lawsuits like Texas Tech has. Well, I don't know that Texas Tech filed a lawsuit, just to be clear. Texas Tech should have kicked him off the team and never should have gone to court. Well, Brendan Sorsby filed the injunction. Let's be clear about that, right? And I would also maintain install collective bargaining. This never happens if collective bargaining is in place.
Yeah, but Cody Campbell doesn't want collective bargaining.
Oh, he doesn't.
Powers that be doesn't want collective bargaining.
Correct. Red Wine. He maintained that the odds were always stacked against the player and that it ruined families and personal horror. Well, oh, look, the big Lubbock is here. There are no bulls in Austin.
Yeah, sure. Spend more time talking about Austin, dude.
It is so disappointing, the heel turn in Texas Tech fans. It is, you just had to not screw this up, you guys. You had it all.
And here we are.
All you had to do was not screw it up. And yet, I am fascinated to know if they were aware of his gambling before they brought Brendan Sorsby to Lubbock.
And if you weren't, how did you not know?
And it's the question that nobody will ask. Nobody will ask that question.
Well, I don't think anyone's asking yet because they haven't had an opportunity to. But somebody eventually will grow a set and ask that question.
Was Cody Campbell, was Joey McGuire aware of Brendan Sorsby's gambling addiction before he became a Red Raider? When you were recruiting him, did you know he was gambling? And the reason they won't answer that is, bro, it's a Chinese finger trap, man. Both ends, you're screwed.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
There's no right answer. There's not. Red wine, there's a reason the founders had a Presbyterian church on every corner and not a casino. Truth. They don't want the kid gone, but they do. No, not at all. It's some days I think, Mike, you just wake up to be a red ass. You know, Brandon is taking advantage of the world today where there is no consequences for choices you make.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. It's not, I would go as far as to say it's the unintended consequences. Because there are going to be consequences here. I think the folks in Lubbock thought, we're going to win this case. We're going to go on about our lives.
This is fucking America.
Cody Campbell was like, we're going to win this case. I'm going to go back to saving college football and be a hero. Hey, by the way, I'm a billionaire. You want to see my wallet? Turns out it doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. Can I please have more hate thrown my text? No, you can't. But then they didn't have only simp on every corner either. Well, I think the naivete of people, that's what you thrive on when you're Texas Tech, or that thought process. Big Lubbock. Did you know that Georgia Tech has a phrase in their fights? Don't care. I do not care. I don't fucking care. Like, it's so crazy to me that you guys are willing to do everything but talk about your issues at Texas Tech. How are you not completely just embarrassed that you guys are attacking Georgia now? You're going after Georgia because Brendan Sorsby is a gambling addict and you didn't do your research, so you didn't know. Like, it's embarrassing, dude. It's embarrassing. You're Michigan now.
Yeah, and no level of deflection is gonna save you. Like,
it's wild. Sorsby's lawyer hasn't done him any favors in the long run. May have won this judgment, but some victories, well, I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're, Brendan, don't call me Brandon. Your play here is to get your $4.5 million and ride off into the sunset. If you can get on an NFL roster, take the money, great. You're never going to be a star. You're never going to be a Hall of Famer in the league. That ain't happening.
Yeah. Nick D. So here's what I gather. The professional leagues can hold their athletes accountable, but in college, it's forbidden, pretty much. Because they have a collectively bargained contract with the players and a players' union.
Yes.
Which is what college athletics needs. Chewy Gonzalez. I think this will hurt Tech's chances of joining a Super League. I really don't.
Well, at a minimum, it's murky. At a minimum, I mean, you got to see where this path leads and what, because again, this is one season we're talking about, right? At worst, he'll move on after this season, but I think the repercussions of how you guys in Lubbock are behaving may or may not have long-ranging and wide-reaching consequences.
Yes.
And again, I tend to agree. I don't know if it prevents them from joining a Super League, but certainly they've damaged relationships here. And that's the part that I think it's kind of unknown how far that goes.
Well, you pissed a good bunch of people off. And here's the problem, though. Guys like Cody Campbell don't care about relationships.
Yeah.
They literally don't. Like this Sarkeesian Texas thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're only puffing your chest out and standing on your wallet because you know that Texas it cannot play that game. We're going to play them in week 1. We did this and called this guy and did that guy, and they'll play each other, and we'll come. And if you don't want to play here, we'll play it. Well, okay.
And by the way, you better pack a lunch, Monty.
Never did you offer to do anything but cut the bulls off and make them steers. Never did you offer to play at DKR, for instance. But the bottom line is you're only puffing your chest out because you know Texas isn't going to take that game because they can't. They have, unlike you, a real schedule.
Come on, dude.
Which is what everybody is flinging at you because you won't shut up and go about your off season. You want to talk about Texas and Georgia and everybody else. Meanwhile, you're standing in the middle of your house while it's burning down and you're like, no, it's not. I'm rich. I can put the fire out.
You're a dog barking at cars that you're never going to catch.
Correct. Correct. You know, it is what it is, man. It is what it be. Maury Alvarez, he's a math teacher. With the judge, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. We can't be certain, but it's the most plausible explanation. It's a shocking ruling. It is but you don't work your entire life
tampering
to build
101.
You don't work your entire life to become a judge, retire, and then what? Have somebody reach into your pocket for a football player?
There's tampering, and then there's blatant tampering.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I agree with the duck analogy. Oklahoma State fan James. Why not have Texas play Tech in week 1?
Brother, dude, how many times?
How many times are you going to say this? The Longhorns will make sure Sorsby doesn't make it to game 2. If you're Texas, does it make sense for you to play that game? James, asking you directly, does it make sense to play that game? Well, let me ask you to go one step further. What do you have to gain by playing that game? I think, what did we say? They have 10 games. And listen, I know that Texas, the Longhorns don't have their bulls with any balls, so they're steers.
Elohim.
Why would you play that game? Oh, because you don't want to go to the college football playoff. And come on. It makes no sense at all.
By the way, you know, just because we've had such a serious show today, on a more comedic front, James, I'm going to need you to explain why in our members only group yesterday, you decided to explain the fact that you have a work number and a personal cell number, and you included both of those numbers in our members only chat. I'm just trying to understand, dude.
What?
And you know, I don't know if apparently Giggity signed James up for something. I'm still not sure what that is, but I'm just waiting for the damage to come through.
So let me get this straight. You have a regular phone and a burner phone
that he calls his work phone, but I agree it's his burner.
Right. That's the phone you order your Magic City wings on.
Right.
The point of that is to keep the two separate. So let's go ahead and publish both numbers.
Bro said, please do not give this away. My work cell is X, Y, and Z.
Why would you what would make you think that anybody gives a flying about your phone numbers? Can I just ask that? Like, what is it that you think? Why? I don't, James, you are the great conundrum on this show. What would make you think that publishing your phone number in a public forum was the right? Did you not? You're getting porn subscriptions left and right.
Magic City, Monty, Magic City. It's their private subscription service.
That's fucking interesting, man.
Why would it, and I'm guessing it's happened already. Do you really think that people aren't going to sign you up for all kinds of heinous shit because you posted your phone number there?
Oh.
How many OnlyFans accounts are you going to have? How many, like, bro? Do you, James? Why would anybody want your phone number? And if they did, wouldn't they just DM you and be like, "Hey, bud, can I get your burner number? I want to text you a lemon pepper recipe."
Bro, literally right now, I'm not making this up. I have our members only group chat opened on my phone. He just said, when this Sorsby thing is settled, I want to talk about the Super League on the air. Okay, from your work phone or from your normal phone? I mean, I can't tell the difference. So I'm just trying to understand, dude.
Okay. You do you, bud. You do you.
That's not
someday.
going to take place here.
Yeah, someday I want to be as smart as you, James. I do. Since the NFL has a harsh punishment for betting, what's NFL going to do about this excessive gambling habit if he ever gets into the NFL? Which I'm telling you, I don't believe he will. Maybe he calls James and gets his MDiv.
Present.
That could happen. Not. He orders from Magic City on that phone to save the delivery driver. That's right.
Right.
I would have to do some prank calls if I saw those numbers. I could not help myself. Bro, you get what you pay for, dude. That's the Dana Marie phone. That's right.
Right. Yeah.
The Dana Marie phone.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Jar Jar James, you jabroni. It's incredible. Brandon Butler. The NFL is going to treat this kid like he's radioactive. No way anyone wants to question around this kid. I totally agree. You think Shador was controversy? Did you guys see that the Browns don't have a number for Dylan Gabriel? A jersey number. Don't have a number to give him, to assign to him.
Bruh.
Wait till Sorbet melts in the draft. Quicksand James, yes. Maury Alvarez, Tech Defender fan, now has no room to stand on teams like Michigan. That's exactly right. It's exactly right. You have no room to talk. Thoughts on Carmelo Anthony trial or the World Cup or Stanley Cup or how the NBA finals are rigged? It's all conspiracy like Texas Tech. Is Lubbock even real? I don't think it is. I think Lubbock is with Matthew McConaughey behind the bookshelf. Right? Come on, I did that for you.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
See the things I do for you? Jake loves that movie.
Oh, it's such a good movie, dude.
Yeah, with Debbie Does Dallas.
Good. Right. Yeah.
Boomer Sooner, Texas Tech to have an ending record of 0-0 as no one will play them.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think ultimately, here's my guess, and you're welcome to get to it in the comment section. My belief is they will assert enough pressure at the conference level. Brendan Sorsby will not play for Texas Tech. He will not play for Texas Tech. The Big Lubbock. Paxton will be the first guy to tell you there are no bulls in Austin. The bulls live in Lubbock. Yeah, just huge testicles on those bulls. And steers don't like hanging out in the same pasture with bulls. Yeah. Because, the Longhorns have no balls. They're just ballless fucks down in Austin.
Yeah. Come on.
James, answers the phone. Collect call from Pope Sac State. Dude, the things I. God.
Well, Monty, I'm getting all these block numbers. I don't understand what's going on. Wow.
Yeah, did BDM send me a video? Oh, he must have.
He must have, dude. Come on. Hey, I want credit in the comments section. Hyenas.
For what?
I told you the Spurs were winning last night. I told you.
Shut up, Jake.
Told you. I even had it down to the number, dude. I said 5 and they won by 4. Come on.
He did. Oh boy, he's naked.
Okay.
Well, shirtless. Do I plead? Okay.
Hey, player.
Take me to Texas, baby. We're coming back, baby. San Antonio's not going to lose unless they get an STD from those nasty New York women. Victor's going to pull off the greatest fucking comeback in the world. And I get mad they changed the Statue of Liberty's name to the Statue of Victor. World peace. Instantly. Fuck the Knicks. Fuck the New York Roaches.
Bro.
Fuck the and double fuck. Good day, sir.
While listening to country music,
Dude.
you know, it's fine. Sorsby bet on the Spurs last night and won enough to pay for another round of lawyers.
Yeah, right?
Maybe.
He did
Jimmy
well.
Otson. This was all a ploy to get the Big 12 teams to boycott their games so that Tech doesn't have to play games on Friday night.
See what Jimmy did there? See, this is all just a big, scheme
well
on
done,
the Friday
Jimmy.
night thing, dude.
James, that is well done. Well done. Texas would castrate Texas Tech. Everything runs through Lubbock, apparently, including corruption. Nick D, can someone explain why MLB and NBA can ban players from gambling, but the NCAA isn't allowed to? They do. They are allowed to. The problem is there's no collective bargaining agreement in place.
Dude, bro,
What?
I can't make this up. James has now tagged me in a reel about the Sorsby situation. Dude, the show is live.
Why?
Just be in the comment section, dude.
I'll never understand this shit where people like somebody like Marcus, who's currently DMing me about Jake's shirt.
What
And that I
what could
raised
you
him poorly?
Possibly be complaining about with my shirt, dude. My shirt is fine, dude.
What kind of shirt is it?
I don't know the brand. It's a polo shirt. Like,
Oh,
I don't-
it's a generic.
Yeah, it's just a generic. Yeah, it's not
Okay.
like some high end thing.
He thought for sure it was Sunday Swagger.
No, it's not Sunday. I don't even know what Sunday Swagger is.
Okay.
Is that like some prolific polo brand?
No, remember we used to have those matching polos that now I wish I had kept because I could actually fit into them.
Yes.
You remember
Yes,
that? When we
I
used
do.
to play golf together,
Yeah.
which we don't anymore.
Mhm. Right.
You know,
Venom and vitriol.
Mhm.
it is what it is. So Jake and I, for those of you who don't know, Jake and I used to play golf together, but we don't anymore.
Mhm.
So even though I have a plethora of, TP5X picks balls that we could be playing.
Yeah,
But,
I know.
is it because you're worried I'm actually playing good golf now or you're what?
Well, no, I mean, you play better golf when you don't play with me. That's part of it.
That's
every
not
time we play together, you play like ass, and then you play with Mrs. Monty and you play well. So
Well,
I mean,
I shot an 85 over the weekend. I'm going to say that's not the case.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's just, the top button thing triggers my OCD. That's exactly what Marcus was talking about. So
You guys are weird, bro. A
He
button
also-
triggers your OCD.
Marcus also says he and his power washing son enjoyed your haircut in a short you did yesterday.
Yes, the hair was hairing yesterday. The humidity has added some volume.
Okay. I did not see the short.
By the way, that short did like 17,000 views. So, I mean, a lot of people saw the hair yesterday.
No, you
So,
guys are buying subscribers. You don't even
Yeah.
better watch your channel, fat ass.
I know.
How the fuck else would you do this job?
I mean,
Wow.
we're,
Yes, your hair is wow.
yeah.
You going to get a haircut some point?
At some point, yeah. I just haven't yet.
God damn, bro. That is
I never thought there'd be a day that would come.
what is this thing right here?
It's I was, just going through my
Is
day.
that a quaff?
Happening, but
Sure.
This Brendan Sorsby situation.
Is that a quaff, Jake?
So,
Did
it's
somebody-
something.
Did somebody quaff on your head? Wow. I like it, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Marcus clarifies and says, I don't hate the polo. It's just very busy. And I really hate that he tries to choke himself out with the top button.
trying to choke myself out. Dude, I've been on the top button life for years, bro. Like,
he also would like to know why you're not living the quarter zip like life like all real men do.
yeah, because it's not 60 and cool here, bro. It's 85.
It is pouring rain out right now in Seattle. So
yeah, in you know, it's thunderstorming while I'm doing the show. It was thunderstorming last night. Like,
you know what
we
I
got
did?
weather here, bro.
Wait, before we get to the NBA and some other stuff. So my day ends, I feed my dog every day, and then I go for I try to walk 1 mile after work. Sometimes, most times I don't. It was pouring rain, so I actually put on my Hawaii floppy sun hat and a winter jacket because it was like 54 degrees and pouring rain while I walked the dog.
Yeah. I
stop. I'm done with my walk. 0.4 of a mile. Done with my walk. Stops raining when I'm standing in front of my building. My wife texts me, "Hey, all right, packing up, coming home." Pouring torrential rain.
Let's go somewhere.
If we'd have just stayed in the crib, it would have been sunny and beautiful out all day.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I am so ready. For it to be like, just give me 70 and sunny. Like my wife and I love the decelerating walk after work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you work hard all day and you just step out and take a walk for half an hour. You hold your hands, you talk a little bit. It's great. No, it's not. Not when it's raining. Jake with the something about Mary hair. Have you ever seen something about Mary?
Don't know the reference.
Oh no. Yeah, there's something about Mary. That's something you need to see. Marcus has a man crush on Jake.
Wouldn't be the first, won't be the last.
It's been a minute since I heard from Marcus. Marcus has been involved in a large thing.
Uh-huh.
So, James with comment. James with the something about Mary here. You mean Jake?
Yeah.
Jake does not use FOP. I don't know what FOP is. No clue. James, please never change. Exactly. Why would you be texting or tagging Jake in videos during the show? Yes, Jake gets the wild hair going on in his YouTube short videos. I actually like the wild look. Ooh, Gesundheit. You know.
Thank you.
We got a bleeder? What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
I think yesterday was the first day of the summer that I really felt the humidity when I walked outside. I'm jealous. I am so jealous. Yeah. Yes. That's the Seattle gray sky weather, always raining. And the thing about living in Seattle, you guys, when it's beautiful here, it is
next level.
Oh man. Bro, this weekend is supposed to be incredible. Now I'm studying for this stupid real estate exam, and we're going to play golf on Saturday night at like 5:00. We're just going to play 9 holes in Bellevue.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be a good 9 holes, but it'll be some kind of hole.
Yeah.
My video is giving you credit for why I am against Sorsby playing college.
But here's the problem, brother. I don't know that because I'm doing the show. So I can't comment on the show about your video because I'm doing the show. That's the thing.
Today, I wish that Oak State James, now TCU James, had already become a Texas Tech James, because this show would be wild today. It really would.
Yes. Correct.
Can you imagine? Oh, yes, Frog Father. When he zips his balls in the, oh, yeah. Pork and more Frankenbeans. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, not good. Something about Mary scene with the zipper, yes. Yes, I'm with you on that. Joey Harper. Been a member for 32 months. Wow. 32 is more than Dumpers got hits this year. If other schools boycott Texas Tech, kind of like a slap in the face for other programs, kind of a steep price to pay for one average ass QB. True.
Yes, it is, dude.
And again,
Yes,
that's, I think, the main question of this whole Sorsby thing. Is Brendan Sorsby worth all this? And I just feel like no matter how you slice it, Brendan Sorsby is not worth all this. I don't see a way, any way, shape, or form, that Brendan Sorsby as a quarterback on the field he is not better than Will Hammond. He's not proven to be better than Will Hammond. Go look at the tape. Go look at the numbers. He is an average quarterback. He's the thing that people rave about him is he's a runner, a dual threat, a runner and a passer. But some of the tape at Cincinnati last year really has you scratching your head, man. It really has you scratching your head. It's hard to even explain it. Joey, thanks for being a member for 32 months.
Yes.
BDM looks like he would say, have you seen my baseball? Oh, no.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yes, he's not that dude.
Yeah, take it easy, bro.
You know, Jake prefer Frank or beans?
Next comment.
Okay. How did he get his beans on top of his Frank? I don't know, and I don't want to know. The Bulls didn't think Jordan was worth this kind of shit. Why do you think he played baseball? Could be. Save the Bulls. Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay. He's going to get absolutely lit up running the ball. Somebody's going to take a shot.
Yep.
Somebody's going to take a shot. I would like to officially welcome Texas Tech to the polarizing branch club. Yeah. Brand club. Yes. 100%. Which is what happened to the Knicks last night. Does anybody... I want to be gentle. I just want to caress the... Did the Knicks lose because Donald Trump fell asleep? Jake, your thoughts?
No, they didn't. But I'm not surprised.
I think that here, you want to know why the Knicks lost? The Spurs shot 24 free throws in the second half.
You're really blaming the officials.
Oh, my. I think they knew they couldn't let the Knicks go 3-0. And the calls surely dictated that.
Mm-hmm.
The Wembanyama, the non-calls, everybody on the Wembanyama Jalen Brunson play where VW throws him to the floor by the nape of his hair, essentially on the back of his neck. That's not even the foul you should be looking at in that play. Did you see Josh Hart getting absolutely bodied to the ground? Like, they're allowing the Spurs to run through dudes. How is the charge that was called against, I can't remember who it was, on Jalen Brunson, where Jalen Brunson hurt his back?
Yeah.
How is that not a flagrant foul? Like, he put his shoulder down and ran through, bro. But yet Josh Hart and Cornette, Josh Hart gets a flagrant foul. What am I missing? And 28 or 24 free throws to 8 for the Knicks. Is the officiating why they lost the game? It certainly didn't help. Because Victor Wembanyama, and I'll say again, and I know BDM is probably going to have a hysterectomy when I say this. Yes, I said hysterectomy. You know, ovaries and stuff. Victor Wembanyama was not elite last night. You guys understand that this is a dude who has not found a way to wholly impact the game during the NBA Finals. He's not blocking shots at a large rate. He's not rebounding well. He lost 2 rebounds to Josh Hart last night that are unforgivable, and they both led to buckets. Victor Wembanyama is playing good, but that's not good enough to win this series, in my opinion. I think he's been pretty average, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did a poor job finding him last night. No question about it. I think I think he hasn't shot it well, clearly. And I think that last night was a must-win for the Spurs. And yes, I agree the officials helped their cause. No doubt. But I still maintain you only won the game by 4 points. Like you didn't. The Knicks shot it poorly. They got off to a really slow start. I mean, there were many other ways for the Knicks to have won that game. But, again, I maintain that
disagree.
this will be 6 or 7 games. They'll find a way. And, I just think that Victor is learning through this series. Victor is beginning to understand that it doesn't matter if you're 800 feet tall. If you can't make a shot, nobody cares. And I think, can't remember. I think, like Cat as an example, you can look at Brunson, you can look at whoever, but I think Cat was like 0 from 3 last night or something like that. Like, I don't think he had made 1-3 last night. Like, you didn't, I don't know. I agree. Free throw disparity or whatever. But I think the Knicks had a lot of other ways they could have won the, they could have won that game. No doubt about it.
And Jalen Brunson's not shooting well.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge problem. He is missing open jumpers. But you are clearly, the Spurs are being allowed to do things physically that you just can't be allowed to throw guys to the floor like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought Charles Barkley made a good point last night. Those are Cardi D's, not Cardi B's. Excellent point. Did anybody see that? Did you see that, Jake?
No.
Get on Twitter right now and look up Cardi, Cardi D. She's performing in a voluptuous outfit. And for whatever reason, they thought it'd be fun to fade back into the inside the NBA guys while Cardi B was performing. And Charles Barkley's reaction was, well, those aren't Cardi B's. Them are Cardi D's.
Wow.
Even Mrs. Monty thought that was funny.
That's rough, bro.
But Charles Barkley made a good point. You can't call Jalen Brunson for a flagrant foul for being in the landing zone and then repeatedly not call Victor Wembanyama for the exact same thing on closeouts. Like, he knocked OG Anunoby over on 1-3, no call.
Yeah,
he's in Jalen
biased.
Brunson's legs.
Yeah.
No call.
Yeah.
You got it. I'm not saying that you even have to call it on the level. But at some point, don't you have to? It can't be 24-8 in the second half.
Yeah, here's the other thing, though. I don't like that Mike Brown after the game is spending his time bitching about the officials. Like you're the Knicks, you just take it on the chin, move to the next game. Like it just is what it is. There's no reason to spend a lot of your press conference talking about that.
Yeah. I did not do this. You guys, here's my life right now. I'm Duffy, fucking right. I'm glad you brought this up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So my life right now is, hey, studying for this real estate exam that I'm hoping to take the last weekend of June. Last night, it was a math test. 30 questions on real estate math while I'm trying to watch the game. In my life, my wife is like, okay, so the square foot divided by the participle of the left border of the meets and bounds system. Man? And I'm like, that's a foul. That is a foul. Like,
oh, sure. Of course, I understand why people are upset.
I'm trying to be somewhat judicious about keeping my eyes on the screen and not on the TV. Didn't. The meets and bounds and the left into the east of the north-south side divided by the quarter acreage. Dude, you've got to make that shot, Jalen.
Fuck you. You suck.
I could not watch the McAfee. Everybody says it sucks. But the idea that you want to lay under a lawnmower immediately after it's over, that's pretty damning of how that broadcast was going. If I do say so myself.
Yeah, I didn't need to watch it to know that it was ass.
Why does he try to talk anything but football?
Why do they ask him to?
I don't know. If it's Aaron Rodgers, okay, I'll watch. I don't care what Pat McAfee has to say about the NBA.
Absolutely not. And it's like, dude, why are we forcing this guy into any other sport? He's a football guy. That's 100%. It. I don't want to see. Don't show me Jason Kelsey at the Masters. Don't show me Pat McAfee at the NBA Finals. Like, this is classic ESPNing the hell out of this thing, and I'm sick and tired of it, dude. Like, I just don't need that, bro, at all.
Stop DMing me James's video. 3 people have DM'd me James's video.
You want to know what
Here
it is? Huh? It's not.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Wrong video. Here's James's video.
Good morning. This is James. Welcome back to the channel. So glad you could be here. Just want to let you know in 2 weeks. Good morning. This is James. Welcome back to the channel. So glad you could be here. Just want to let you know in 2 weeks.
Bro, that's the entirety of your video?
Hi, this is James. Welcome back.
There's no way that's the whole video, dude. That can't be.
Just want to let you know in 2 weeks. Good morning. This is James.
That's it.
So glad you could be here. Just want to let you know in 2 weeks. Good morning.
Bro, I give you a shot. I play the video.
That's what you did for the video, dude? You can't be serious.
Because Mike sent me this video. Not Mike, the other Mike.
Good morning. This is James. Welcome back to the channel. So glad you could be here. Just want to let you know in 2 weeks.
Yes, that's the entirety of his video.
Dude,
James, what are you doing?
I can't, dude. Bro, you can't.
What are you doing?
You cannot seriously come in here and say that you posted a video giving us credit, and then the video turns out to be a 7-second, basically mis-upload. Like, you uploaded the wrong thing. Like, come on, bro. Like,
dude,
if you're gonna do that, like, it's got to at least be good. We're trying here, man.
Yeah, Mike.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back.
Mike McIntyre says, I don't know who this James dude is, but who posts a video for 7 seconds with no takes and then calls you guys out for not playing it on the show?
Codex is playing well.
Talk about bulls versus steers. Guarantee you, buddy lives in Tarrant County with the judge. Exactly right.
Oh, bro.
How do you post a 7-second video with no, dude?
Listen, yeah,
And I'm coming on the show once it's over to talk about it.
No,
7 seconds is a long time for Buddy. I understand it's a challenge. I get it.
Stay tuned to the next video to see what happens in 2 weeks. Exactly.
Social media.
Look, when you are Mr. Bean's stunt double, you do not get much airtime. Exactly.
I just can't believe you called us out for not watching it, and it's a 7-second nothing video. Like, I don't understand, dude.
I am subscribing to his channel if he puts out teasers like that every day. Cliffhanger. Yeah, I'm happy to give then I'll plug his channel. What's the name of this channel? Go support him. I don't have a problem with people supporting him. Notice he doesn't tag me in this stuff. Now that I deleted that message.
Doesn't have his YouTube link in his bio on Instagram, so can't go to his channel from there.
Yeah, I don't keep the messages in my I delete most of the messages because I just get so much nonsense.
Garbo.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. It's look, it's at some point you gotta be like, all right, like if you're gonna come in here talking some junk about it, it's gotta be decent.
Why is so?
And I still maintain you'd be better off doing shorts and reels than full uploads, but that's just my opinion. This cat
Travis, who tagged me on a lot of stuff on TikTok, is sending me Taco Bell videos and legitimately sends me this video of the shredded beef dipping tacos. Have you tried them yet? I'm curious to get your take on it.
What's the video? He sent you a video?
It's just a video. It's just a video of a Taco Bell commercial.
Oh, okay. I thought it was him in the video.
No, of just Taco Bell sending me. It's their dick. Why? No, I don't eat at Taco Bell, man.
Yeah, who do you think we are? BDM?
You guys are wild in today. I'm blaming Trump and his curse. What did you guys think of that whole thing?
It was a joke, dude. Absolute circus.
I think the vibe hurt the Knicks. I think not having the fans outside, not having the atmosphere, the security, the 3.5 hours to get in. The line at tip-off was ridiculous. I didn't see if they delayed the start or not, but it didn't really seem like that impacted anybody. But I think the best part about Donald Trump was him slamming his face full of French fries, throwing the carton on the ground, and then falling asleep. Like, buddy, what are you doing? It totally ruined the atmosphere, and Buddy couldn't stay awake. Do you guys worry about the fact that he can't stay awake? I mean, he is 80 years old. I don't think it's that abnormal.
There's no question Bro's health is not in a great place.
Yeah, but I'm not the dude out here hoping that he has some kind of catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see all the TikTokers out here hoping he has a... Like, there was all this stuff going around, and true or not, that he had a stroke a couple of weeks ago. And if you're rooting for somebody else's health to decline, come on. You know, like, he's an old man. It's not really surprising that old people fall asleep.
No, it's not.
Right? I mean, I don't know why did you go, but that's why I don't understand. Why did he go to the game?
Don't know.
Like,
Don't
stay
know.
home.
It's weird. It's weird. Stay at the White House and spend some time observing that monstrosity on the lawn.
That's all I'm saying. I would just say, well, and don't get started with that monstrosity on the lawn.
Anyway,
I'm not rooting for. I think it killed the atmosphere. I'm with Ball didn't go in the hoop guy.
Yeah, Stephen A.
Mayor of Monty Town is correct. Ball didn't go in the hoop.
Ball didn't go in the hoop.
And I do think the whole security thing, and what was it, a 5-block radius for security screening, a 3-block radius for the metal screens. I mean, how great is it the Knicks are in the NBA Finals? You know how long Knicks fans have waited for this? You're up 2-0.
He was selfish as hell and ruined it for them.
I feel like yeah, I completely blocked June. Why'd you do that? Instead, he should have went with cash and chugged beers with USA Hockey Team. That would have helped.
That's
for
cute.
Sure.
I remember when I had my first beer.
If we're electing these dudes to be in office in their 80s, it's our own fault. Truth.
Agreed.
But this goes back to people who are like, my vote doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, I personally think you need a max age restriction. These dudes are always way too old. Totally agree. Totally agree. All right. Can we get to this? Jake's going to hate this story. Jake is going to hate this story.
Mm-hmm. What terrible things are millennials doing now? So is this millennials' fault that Homegirl is still a national treasure?
Okay. Can we stop obsessing over Diana Rossini?
I mean, I think it's been pretty quiet the last couple of weeks. Wouldn't you agree?
No. Now,
what have we talked about?
Well, we haven't talked about it, but the story won't die.
Well, what's the latest update?
Allegation from this writer who got fired, the girl, and I don't want to say her name,
mm-hmm.
The girl who got fired for saying that she slept around the NFL, is doing more interviews saying that Diana Rossini has had relationships with multiple NFL head coaches, not just Mike Vrabel. And do you believe that?
No.
You don't. You think Vrabel was an isolated thing?
I think Vrabel was an isolated thing. And I think that if you're going to accuse her of sleeping her way around the NFL, you damn well better have evidence.
But it's okay to accuse Cody Campbell. Never mind.
Yeah, because the difference is the optics don't say she slept around the NFL, and the optics say that he did some things behind the scenes with certain individuals.
Okay. I don't believe that Diana Rossini whored her way to sourcing.
Yeah.
I don't believe that Diana Rossini slept her way around the NFL. And I do believe that this is also the case. I think this is over for Mike Vrabel now.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Vrabel has survived. He is back to work full time. He is going to be the head coach of the Patriots this year. It's over.
And he's posting pictures with the wife and the kids, and everything's fine.
No more Big Nose Kate stuff. Like, we're done. Diana Rossini, I think this is just getting started, because also The Athletic and the New York Times said we'll announce the results of our investigation shortly. Why are you going to announce the results of an investigation for somebody who doesn't work for you anymore? Like, I think they're looking to take this girl to the woodshed, which is what Mike Vrabel, never mind. Anyway, the point is, I think they're looking to scapegoat her to protect their credibility. Mm-hmm. Why else would you be releasing the results of whatever investigation you found?
Yeah, I mean, I think, from a legal standpoint, they probably need to. I mean, you basically, the story, or they, however you want to verbalize it, caused her to resign or step away or whatever, legalese we're using. And, they need to, publish the results to protect themselves. I don't have any doubt. That makes sense.
I'm interested to see how that plays out. My opinion is, I feel very strongly that she'll never work in traditional media again.
Right.
So she'll probably go work for CBS and 60 Minutes, but she'll never.
Yo, Scott, how you doing, bud?
I've heard that she has 7-figure podcast offers, and that she has the ability to work in that realm if she wants to.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense.
How long does Diana Rossini have to sit on the sidelines?
I think she could come back now. I don't think there's a defined timeline. I don't think that there's any like I agree Vrabel's moved on and the ball is in her court for sure. I think that she just has to figure out, how to play it correctly. I still maintain what I said when we were in the heat of that story, that if she plays her cards the correct way, I think she could benefit from this massively. I think she can make a ton of money. I think it could catapult her into the next chapter of her career. And I agree she won't work in traditional media, but traditional media is not the only way anymore. And
True.
So I think that's where she's got to figure that out.
Yeah. I agree with Jake 100%. She has eyes for Vrabel.
Yeah, but I don't have eyes for your 7-second video, so you should probably re-upload that, You should probably fix that.
Yeah. 7-second videos. Vrabel didn't take Diana to the woodshed. He took her to Funky Town.
Macaque.
Saboner, Arizona. Mike McDaniel may have been watching her with Vrabel, but not participating.
Stop.
Scott Pelley went out like a boss. Yes, he did. Jeremiah Champion. Yes, please hit the like button. And then the story Jake doesn't really want to get into.
You're not talking about millennials anymore. Just want to point that out.
Well, you scumbags started this.
Mm-hmm.
New study out.
Macaque.
There has been significant research. You're such a dick. No pun intended. New significant research on men 18 to 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Stating that fertility and sexual activity is way down because of cell phones.
Yeah, too much spank bank time.
Because men would rather engage in social media and pornography than actually go out into the world and meet people. So rando shag on a Friday night is not happening, right? Your random, hey, let's go to Jimmy's Pizza, where I ran into, what's that girl's name that's always,
Shelly.
I ran into Shelly. And then Shelly ran into me. Right? Like your random sex from a girl you met at the bar is not happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so fertility and childbirth is down. Screen time is up. And one of the fascinating parts about this whole study was it started as a theory and some frustration. And this is what I love about science. They took a theory and they said, well, how can we prove scientifically that smartphone use is lowering birth rates in this country?
Which I agree with.
So they set out and they surveyed and they tracked patterns of 18 to 25-year-old men. And they have found that through GPS locating data, they're not leaving their apartments. They're not leaving their homes. You know what they're doing? They're watching pornography. They're playing video games on their smartphone. And they are ordering takeout. That's what 18 to 25-year-olds are doing. So they're not going out there. And this is the whole manifest destiny thing. They're not going out. They're not running into the love of their life. They're not getting married. They're not having kids. They're not buying houses. They're not going through the traditional cycle.
They're being basement guy. They're being
basement guy.
Yeah.
They are being basement guy. And it's really fascinating to me that on Brendan Sorsby, Pete Thamel. Sources say, quote, don't expect any immediate action from the Big 12 on Brendan Sorsby. The Big 12 has defined a process to address it, which will begin with an AD call today. Ding! What did I tell you? Big 12 Executive Board will meet Thursday to discuss options. Yes. And as we reported this morning. So, anyway, back to sex and pizza.
Yeah.
One of the things left open-ended with this study is, how do you change it? Do we need to change it? Do we need to change the rhythm of life for 18 to 25-year-old men? Are they the key to reigniting the baby boom in this country?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I think that, I think that getting dudes out there a little more and like kind of, making life a little more enjoyable overall is always going to lead to good stuff. I generally speaking, not unique to 18 to 25-year-olds, but generally speaking, when stuff isn't overly expensive, when the vibes are good, when, it's culturally what you do to go out to the bar, to go out with your friends, people will do that. But that's clearly not culturally what 18 to 25-year-olds are doing.
Right.
It's just not what, that's not what their generation is deeming, proper. And I think that what never gets talked about in this conversation is the, the OnlyFans of the world, the prolific online female creator that I think has, a lot of dudes that would be in this scenario feeling weird about going out and trying to date. Like, I just think that it is a fascinating and deep conversation, but I think it's short-sighted for anybody to just assume it's on the dudes. Yes, is it on them to go out and actively look for it and have a better attitude? Absolutely. But I also think that it's a combination of like, it's just, they have to pay for everything. They don't believe that quality is out there. Like, I think that
No. Okay. I can let you go up till they have to pay for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Why not communicate in the dating process?
Well, you're just assuming we aren't.
I'm not. No, I'm saying communicate in the dating process. If you want to go Dutch or split, you got to communicate that. But you have to, at some point, how old was I when I met my wife? It's 28, probably, something like that. 25, in fact. We met I was 25. That was it, 1998, 25 years old. If I'm just sitting at home, am I meeting the love of my life, who I've been married to for 25 years? No.
But right? When did you go out culturally? In the 90s?
Yeah. At some point we have to stop with that's not the cultural norm bullshit.
Well, I don't think that that's
If you
bullshit,
want,
though. I mean, I think that
yeah,
that's
it's total bullshit. If you want to be happy, we've gotten to this place in time where we've stopped creating the lives we want to live.
Mhm.
That we're just not willing to go through the process to find the actual right one to be with. We're willing to, because this is also a fascinating part of this discussion. I think we talked about this last week. Men and women, millennials and Gen Z, are willing to settle instead of doing the work to go through the dating process. They'll settle with somebody instead of finding the right one. Which you and I have talked about 100 times. But we've gotten into this place where we no longer create the lives we want to live. We've gotten to this place where like, well, that's just how it is these days. We sit home and play video games and eat pizza and we don't have sex. Like, when did that become okay? Why are we no longer motivated to create the lives we want to live? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's a lot that goes into that. You know, I think, you know, I think that part of it is there's just a lot going on in the world. I maintain that, just generally speaking, if we're going to try to just, you know, paint with broader brushes here for the sake of conversation, I think the vibes are not great right now. Like, that's the best way I can say it. Like, it's not, it's not.
Well, dating's changed from when I was 25 to when you're whoever's 25 years old now.
Gen Z.
Clearly, dating has changed. But you have to adapt and have the want to. And I think those two things are missing.
Yeah, and I do think that you know, one of the things that hurts dating right now is Gen Z specifically is notorious. It's one of the main differences between millennials and Gen Z, but Gen Z is notorious for job hopping a lot. Like, there's a mentality in that generation of, hey, well, if you're not changing jobs every, like, you know, 2 to 4 years, you know, just kind of depending, then you're not, like, you know, you're not moving up. You're not doing as good as you could. And I think that mentality, when you treat stuff like that, of like, hey, I'm only going to be around for a couple of years and I'm going to move along, that mentality isn't going to help you in the dating world. And I just think it is, you know, I also think that there's a side of it where I do think that, you know, obviously, you know, women now are different than they were when you were dating, you know, and how that relationship works. And I think that I think it's progressed from dating apps now. I think that, you know, I'm not going to sit here and be some kind of expert on what high school is like now, or what any of that looks like now. Because I just think it's probably super different now than it ever has been. And yeah, the pandemic is a lot of responsible for that.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal. I think it is a very big deal. And I think we have to get back to thinking about creating the lives that we want to live in. And I think it is one of the most difficult decisions we'll ever make, is who to be a life partner with. And I just think you have to find a way to, home buying's tough. Again, my wife and I are trying to get our real estate licenses. Trust me, the math does not look great. Totally understand that. But you have to create a life with somebody who you're willing to go to bat with every day, that you can call your equal partner. And that's not what people are doing now. And it started with millennials, in my opinion. And I think it has trickled down. Like, you have to, the belief, what's being eroded is people's belief in their ability to create. That's the thing that I think is really tough. And I think I think it's a huge challenge. Yeah. I think it's tough. I really do. Kids have convinced themselves that dating is crappy before they ever even start. Change the mentality. Tell yourself dating's fun. I know it's more complex than that, but it starts there. Your mentality.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I agree that again, like I said, I there's definitely a part of it where it's attitude based, right? I mean, there's no question about that. You know, but I can personally attest to it being discouraging. You know, it's not a fun process until it's a fun process. Right. You know, you got to go through the crap to get to get to the good stuff. And that's that's what's difficult. And for some people, that's one person. For other people, that's like 10 people. So like, I just think it's not easy, man. But I do think, the streaming culture, has unintended consequences. I mean, everybody and their mom, like we graduated, everybody and their mom wanted to do a podcast. Now we moved on from that and everyone wants to be a streamer on Twitch or whatever. They want to, play video games and do that for a living. And I agree you can make money doing it, but I think the side effect of that is you never leave you just don't leave your house. I mean, I
totally agree.
I mean, obviously we stream this show, but like I don't have the opportunity to just stream gaming mainly because I don't spend all day gaming. Like I just think it's just it's an interesting thing, man. And I do think that, like at some point the housing situation will rectify itself, whether that's another 2008 situation or otherwise. I don't know what it'll look like, but at some point that will fix itself. Hopefully it doesn't take another 10 years, but we'll see. And the cycle will fix itself. It always does. It always has. It will. But this time it feels like it's taken a lot longer. So hopefully we're almost done.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see for sure. Millennials aren't having kids because it's too damn expensive and the world sucks to bring a kid into. I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah. Well, the
world is not a great place. And it's funny. My wife and I have talked about that. I think there's a lot of idealists and I think people are scared to bring kids into the world. And I don't blame you. Speaking of, we are about to buy our first house. Wow.
Nice, dude.
Congratulations, dude. That's great.
In Colorado.
Going on international house hunting shows. No, he lives in Texas.
No, I thought he was in Colorado. Do I have that wrong?
Jeremiah Champion lives in Texas, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Kids are super expensive and more people in general are waking up to that fact.
Yeah.
Is that a secret? Look at my wife rocking a sweater today. Cryptic says also a lot of people are weary about bringing a child into this shitty world. Truth.
Mm-hmm.
I am of the opinion is you need a woman to get out there and start chasing men. Dudes are terrified of being a creep and being shamed. That's interesting. TJ Beck, hello, my friend. Testosterone falling off a cliff. Social drinking is not popular with young men. No, it's not. And young men have been demonized. This is exactly a recipe for today's procreation. Yes, it is. Yeah, and I'm not telling you to go out and have casual sex at bars every Friday night. Like, I'm not telling you to do that. Dudes ain't dudes anymore. Just kids that play Xbox and sit home and aren't socially engaged. Trend equals no dating, no mating, hence no kids. Our population will dwindle over the next 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
China's certainly seeing that, right? People are treating dating like jobs. If you're unhappy, just move on and quit. Nobody is willing to commit to a process. There's always another dude waiting in the wings on dating apps.
Yeah, for real.
Dating apps are the scourge, right? Oh, look at this. You have to pick someone that has the same interest that you do. We both like sports. Okay. Don't get me started on Walmart managers, dude. Jeremiah, bro, you're blaming Xbox. It's not the Xbox who made a choice for this people. Well,
yeah, who are you, Sorsby?
There is that. Dating is not fun. It's dumb and stupid. Most people want someone to take care of them while offering nothing. I just want a free dinner, Monty. Remember James had to date an ugly Walmart manager before finding love. This is true.
You'll never live it down.
No, I love you live in Colorado. Oh, he does live in Colorado. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Yep. Everyone expects more than what is reasonable. Totally agree. My dude, you have one bad date and as a male, and there are Facebook groups that will put you on blast because you don't pay for the date. That's wild if that's in fact what's happening.
I can't speak to that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is absolutely crazy. All right. There you have it. The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365 at The Advocates. 24/7, 365. Legit, anytime you need it. This is the 100 most dangerous days of the year. Slow down. Eliminate the distractions from the car. And if the worst happens, get to the best at theadvocates.com, where you never reach into your pocket to pay the advocates. So go get that clear, risk-free advice right now at theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.